last day of fellowship. You have to pack your bags. You're very overwhelmed. You look at the person right next to you, and what do you say?
As we near the end of fellowship, this innocuous looking impromptu topic seems to assume an existential nature. For we are left to abandon the ship, including the fellow sailors on board, all amidst a raging pandemic. Who knows, tracing different paths, battling diverse challenges, mounting the wave called life, where will we meet each other, if only ever again? They say, the end is the beginning. We say, perhaps, not the one we yearn for. To go back in time is no longer a mere wish, but a cry of our mute selves. But hey, if not anything else, at least we can go down the memory lane to the time spent at campus. Not too far ago, it was January 2021. Thanks to Kenwin, we were freshly baked out of the Power Lab in quarantine. The past few months, a question had come to haunt us. Given the virtual nature of the program, how do we live the spirit of Young India Fellowship? Come January, this was our chance to make up for all the lost chances of meeting new people, of sharing lives, of knowing stories which otherwise we wouldn't have known. And soon enough, we had our answer. YIF Toastmasters. This is an attempt to relive its journey. So how did it all start?
Fellow Young India fellows and everyone else.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the fourth meeting of Toastmasters. I am Ankita Elizabeth Matthew, your Toastmaster for the day. To all the people who are attending Toastmasters for the first time, welcome. This is a space where we actually come together to work on our public speaking skills based on a theme. And today's theme is quite interesting.
What's up?
No life without art.
Academic freedom, a condom of democracy.
Unnecessary sounds and filler words that you
Now before I open the floor, as you can see, Tanya is already smiling. So pretty sure Tanya is going to have a lot to say.
Thank you.
If only life had background music, mine would be Heartbreak Hotel by Lucifer.
And why did we title it a condom of democracy? As you all know, you know what a condom is used for.
Please explain.
Alun, coming from you.
Please ask our expert, Aman Alun, who's sitting right here.
What do you mean? 2 days back, I was having a dialogue with a friend who I used to meet on a regular basis, and I'll be like, "What's up?" and he'll reply with, "What's up?"
It is अंदर से हम कुछ और बाहर से मजबूर कोट तो खत्म होने दो यार Yes, it is तमाशा राधेगा
In YF, small talk has become a major part of each and every one of our lives on a daily basis.
That is the power of art, I think. Two things I learned that day. One, that I have tremendous imagination. Second, the power of art. I had found something in myself that I did not know that I had. That is what art makes you do. It makes you weep as you find meaning in your suffering. It makes you laugh as you are entertained.
When I started getting into the space of understanding what a protest means, I think one of those things I found quite interesting was I'm from a government college, but in my college we never had any sort of thing called protest. It was just something that my college never did. I don't know, reasons could be plenty, but I did notice a difference when, people from universities who have political affiliations, when they were speaking out, I could clearly see the difference. And I guess what Arko said, these are points to think about.
But what if you don't have the luxury of time, but still you are required to think? In fact, not only think, but to speak, and that too in front of public. In Toastmasters, we call this impromptu segment, which aims to inculcate thinking on our feet, as the table topics section. So there you go.
So since our theme is related to art and pictures alone can speak 1,000 words. So instead of topics, I have pictures in front of you. And Anjali, this is your first picture. I'll be sending the picture on the group as well. So this is your first picture. Take a good look at it and tell. Yeah. This is the picture. I'll be sending it on the group as well. The next topic. Who wants to come forward?
Jenny Boyd, Badshah.
Come on, you got this.
You know how to like swim? I don't know.
I have a plan for you.
Those of you who know me probably know that I studied in Pondicherry. I went there when I was 14 years old. And before that, I went to a Christian school that was quite strict, and the kind of school that asked you to maintain 6 inches for the Holy Ghost when you were talking to a guy. Wonder why 6 inches? But keep it there.
I mean, this right here, this is my insulation from small talk. I plug it in and I walk through the corridors absolutely fearless that okay, no small talk. That's not because I'm scared of it. No, actually, that is because I'm scared of it. It's just that, yeah, I'm also not very good at it.
This is the picture.
Oh.
वो iPad था
Apple का है.
Apple laptop. And the irony is also how I'm watching this on an Apple laptop while the kid is consuming this. This also reminds me of a very beautiful short story by Satyajit Ray titled 2, where
Thank you so much for I'm so happy meeting you. Let's do this again, time and time again.
I knew a lot of people and made a lot of online friendships, which I hadn't because I couldn't bring myself to talk to people online. But coming here, getting stuck in quarantine with like 10-15 people, knowing they couldn't escape me for like the next 10 days.
Can you make friends at YIF using small talk?
Wow.
Yes,
Commenting
how?
on improvisation speech.
If yes, how?
So the fellowship, right? You come here after having spent it, say, like 6 months back at home, and you come here with expectations of having a social life, being happy, doing it all, having great fun while also being productive. You can do that, but can you do that? You can't. Why is that? Because you have so many people here and you have been starved of interaction for so long that you don't know how to navigate social spaces anymore.
It's about how you take the situation. It's not about just being very sad, disappointed and sitting, oh my god, I'm not good at this. It's about how you take up that situation, how you just gather your spirits again, step up and say, I can do it. I can be this Toastmaster Soumya again, wherein I visualize that Aman will come up and say, here is Soumya, Toastmaster Soumya, let's welcome her with a round of applause. So this is how we deal with situations in real life. We pick up our packs, gather the strength and just get at it again, and surely we'll succeed.
From what I feel, small talk is very beneficial at the fellowship here because most of us do have siloed existences here, and you don't really realize that a lot of people are going through very similar experiences here, and just that small interaction of being there for one another, just checking on them, just making sure that they are okay.
At the same time, small talk for me has been extremely important, has been extremely illuminating, because without certain small talk, I would certainly not have made some really good friends with who I kicked things off on, I think, a a very small talkish note about how our days were, how we were finding courses, etc. And I think small talk for me has been that precursor which has led to some really great friendships here at YAF. The kind of friendships that I think I haven't had so far in my life with people.
You are speaking my mind, Karan. Thank you. We've all been able to open ourselves to people, experiences, and more so, to our own selves. So how does that opening up look like in Toastmasters? We call it the icebreaker speech. This happens to be the first project any member is supposed to complete. And in our community, we had 6 fellows who took the plunge. Let's see some glimpses of the ones who implemented Dwight's 17%
And
rule.
then someone comes to you walking and asks, "Who are you?" You're standing there wondering, "Who am I?" This is exactly how I felt all my childhood. My inability to express, topped with my introjected ideas of who I am and what I'm supposed to do. I am Anjali Priyadarshini Thati, and this is the story of my quest for my voice.
My brother was mischievous in a silent, smart, and a subtle way, and my family had nicknamed him Manav Bang. When they realized that I was louder, stupid, and much worse, they came with a much more fitting name. I was called Danav Bang.
I'm going into a class. I met my master, a small room, as I'm sitting down. He said there are 6 strings in the guitar, start counting and playing. So I was counting E, G, B, D, F. I'm a full grown man, and there is a 5th standard kid who is coming in and he's sitting beside me. He's playing classical proper music and I'm counting E, G, B, D, F. So you know the frustration that happens when you start late.
I lost myself twice in my life and regained it and regained it. I'm going to talk about that.
That being emotional is a strength and not a weakness is one of the most important life lessons that dawned upon me. And yet, amidst all this, I miss talking to people. I miss talking to people without being conscious. I miss being able to let my words flow freely. I miss being able to express my emotions freely. And that is the very reason why I'm standing before you. To use this platform to rediscover something I lost years ago, to attain something I had before, and to begin my journey of learning to talk again.
Ashish is not ex-JSW employee. Neither he is electrical engineer, nor in India film. His existence is something beyond that. There is a difference between what one is and what one has. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate people around us for what they are rather than what they have. Thank you.
What one is versus what one has. A subtle yet a stark difference. Thank you, Ashish Bhai, for reminding us of the slippery slope of our modern day existence. This is where we evaluate to elevate each other.
Now we will be beginning with the first evaluator. Can you guess who that person is?
It's written there.
Yeah. I always doesn't know this. So this guy, when I asked him, "Listen, can you tell me what's your weirdest habit?" And he tells me, "I scream and I swear and I shout when I see Chelsea play." I'm like, okay, that's not too weird. Can you tell me a story where you had a small talk with a person and then you had a long-lasting friendship with them? He said, "I'll get back to you." Okay. I never did. 20 minutes later, he texts me, "Can you ask me a different question? This one is very difficult." And I tell him, "Okay, can you tell me about a small talk which was very awkward and very weird?" He's like, "Can I get back to you in 20 minutes? I'm still waiting for his text and I have not replied. In the morning also I asked him, why didn't you reply? He says, my phone is dead."
You already know which conversation was his weirdest, like the small talk.
Exactly. So calling for Toastmasters shut up for the first
boy, your speech was first up relevant. Why? Because there are all pretensions around. This is the Young India Fellowship, my boys. There are all pretensions around. I am the table topic. Now the question arises, why did I do it? This happens to be the specific point of recommendation for all the speakers who are here. When you have the topic at hand, why not just stand, pause for a few seconds, and then start speaking? How does it help? It helps in 3 ways. First, it gives you time to think through what you're going to speak next, especially important when it comes to table topics. Second, it draws the attention of the audience. Third, it weeds out the words. Why not just implement one specific?
You were quite expressive when you were saying the story, and you were basically describing the situation, the scene, and you used right amount of hand gestures and movements for us to actually imagine and visualize what the situation would be then, and that helped as well. So I think that was a great speech, and I can't believe that it was an impromptu, so great work on that.
Speech that I'm supposed to deliver. The speech has structure, the intro, the body, the conclusion. And at the same time, it has something of value to offer to the audience also, the underlying essence, the central theme. So in a way, this is the most challenging part. How do you ensure that you are having a proper structure also, content to talk about while speaking? So filler words in itself, the word means that you're filling in something. What are you filling in?
Silence.
Silence. Why are you filling in silence? Absolutely. You're not. So there are only 2 ways I can hold attention of you as an audience. One is my voice. Second is my eye contact. So while transitioning from one idea to another, if I look down, probably I'm losing the connect. So this is one thing which we can work on, is to engage the different segments of the audience with our eye contact. That is the only tool that we have apart from our voice.
In Toastmasters, apart from these 2 tools, you are mandated to sharpen the fundamental tool in the communication process, the one which we always yearn for but never truly realize, of active listening. Going by Dwight's maxim, what you manage is what you measure, so we had some quirky members who kept us on our toes.
Good morning. Oops, it's afternoon. Whom are you reminded of this? By this? Nehal. Yeah. Which speaker was attacked in the lawns for waking up and starting at around 11:30? Yeah. I'm really sorry for that. Who enticed us today with his performance? Really enticing performance. Who is that one person whom we can walk up to if we want validation? Well, I think Aman. Who is a ball of curiosity and creativity?
When Chelsea is playing, there is no leash, and evaluation is his niche. ELM review is gone bad. Shrikant still not so mad. This person sold small talk is totally rad, and this person's speech was definitely not fad. And who would
Well. It seems we packed in a lot of stuff in the meeting. But how did that happen? Because in Dwight's words, the goal of Toastmasters meeting was a smart one, for it was time-bound too. And the members who helped us keep track of time were our enemies and friends at the same time. We call them timers.
So actually I will be the timer for the day. And I'm sorry for the appearance. I just woke up. So please don't mind the appearance.
The importance of being short and effective in your speech. That's what makes an effective speaker. So for the first prepared speeches, the project, you will be given a time period between 4 to 6 minutes, and at 4 you will...
Green light? Show you the green light actually. Okay, I'll show you later. At the moment I'll show you the green light. Then
Pallavi? Not Pallavi, sorry. It was yesterday's.
Okay.
Miss Pallavi. So, please explain the context of Miss Pallavi.
Yeah, so I spoke Pallavi, Miss Pallavi as Mrs. Pallavi. She really liked it. Yeah, so without wasting time, because I have to keep myself in time as well.
In these 2 months, we got to speak, write, listen, laugh, bond, make connections, share our stories, and not to forget the YIF cliche, learn, unlearn, and relearn. But there was something else. We got it for free. See for yourself. The closing ceremony of our meetings. So, how do you look back at all this and still not yearn to go back in time? Possible nahi hai yaar. And now when someone asks, what was the Toastmaster thingy you guys started off at campus? To be honest, words fail me. But hey, we had a beautiful lady in the house who could ascribe words to this feeling, for it encapsulates our attempt at living the spirit of YIF.
One of my motives of coming here to the fellowship that I really want to have beautiful friendships which I otherwise have not had, and all of these people sitting in the room, I can genuinely say that I can count on you.
Settle down that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why you so shy? In life, hide from the light.
I hate to turn out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that from me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I bet. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead.